Yo, what's up? What's up? It's the guy Ray Hanma. What's up? What's up? It's your guy Ray Hanma. One versus a million. Yes. Let me know how I sound. Let me know everything's good. Please like and share and subscribe on your way in. Yes, don't forget to do that. And also hit the cash out because your boy has a donation goal of reaching close to around 120, I'll say. Going towards a car starter. Yeah, because some time ago, your boy hit a deer coming downhill. So, the whole thing looked like a whole GTA moment, you know. So I'm like, deer, why are you in the road? There's no food for you on the road. So yeah. Anyway, yes. Thank you guys for joining me back. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining me back for this part 3. And in this, we should be finishing up with our review of this so we can move along to other awesome projects that are out there that we must cover. Yes. So, and as I'm still also passionately excited about this, going over this with you guys. So yes. So going back to this, thank you guys for joining me. So we are going to go start back where we left off with episode 5. And it's dealing with Eamon. So yeah. Eamon and Damon. Here we go. All right, now let's see. Eamon, this is like during the council when the council decided, for Eamon to rule instead of Aegon, which we all know got two-faced by Aemon's dragon. So during their fight at Rook's Rest. All right, and but it's as you all can know if you've seen it already that Allison protested, because she was like, "Hey, I should rule because of my experience and all that stuff." But no, not in these matters. No, not in these matters. These grave matters where man need to rise. Where it's a time for man to come to the lead. Because the morale will increase to a great degree versus there was a woman ruling and leading. So yeah. So Eamon starts ruling right away, so he starts getting to work like right away, just like he ain't playing no games. So yeah, he's directing everybody, giving everybody their task and what they should be doing and everything. But Allison, she gives Eamon a terrified look though. And like I said, man, I like, oh man, I like it when, actors and actresses are able to hit the notes, man, like where you can like believe them, where they're so believable. Uh, because she believes because she believes that he set up, to take Aegon out. That was that look, in her eyes at that time. So the next thing it gets back to where shows I tagged it as the blacksmith because I didn't know his name until I looked up the character of whom he played. So the man Hugh Hammer, Hugh Hammer. So him and his wife were arguing about leaving, wanting to leave King's Landing, so they can have food to take care of their daughter, because her daughter is very sick, what I mean, so she's not well at all, and but he says he wants to wait on payment from the king because Aegon, he wants to hang on that promise, but well, that he should have acted quickly on getting the hell out of King's Landing, because before you should have felt the vibe wasn't right. so so that's what I say on that one. Yeah, so and then the next thing shows where Allison she's checking, Kristen on him being more loyal to on her believing that he's more loyal to Aemon than her, or also insecurities. Because on how is he's more loyal to it's it's the hierarchy of men. It's something that he must follow. You got, I mean, hey, you're about to get kicked out of the damn council, so therefore you have no power to override him. So therefore, it makes sense to follow him. Plus two, for one, he's a man, and it's preferable for a man to want to follow another man versus want to follow another woman. So therefore, because through following that man, that boy or that man will learn thus, leadership qualities. So therefore, so they can end up learning how to lead. Anyway, uh, yeah. So the next thing we show like we're a horde of people, man. They're hungry as hell. The crowd are super hungry. So next thing they're showing like Hugh Hammer, and the whole crowd full of people barging, at the gates trying to escape, but they're not trying to let them escape because Aemon, he quickly made sure that they secure, all the ports, to make sure that there's no more boats that come through. But yeah, but Prince Jace meets with Force, what they call Force Frey. Yeah, so he negotiates with them and everything, and uh, but he tells that the phrase that hey, that he needs them to grant access for Stark's men, the Greybeard, so they can pass through, and join up with them, so they can go through to through the Riverlands. Well, they had fear, whatever, because they fear. They tell them that they fear. Yeah, I remember this scene. They basically said to Jace that they fear letting him access. They fear facing Vagar. They don't want to deal with Aemon and his dragon. And Jace tells him something. He's like, real talk. He's like, hey, you fear a dragon that's leagues away, where my dragon sits right outside your wall. I'm like, hey, that's real talk. So so yeah, they he tells them, hey, that he's trying to get this done, because Stark's uh uh Lannister, you know, Tywin Lannister, he's marching, he's marching right now. He's on the move. So yeah, he's trying to get this done, catch up to him or whatever before he reaches River Run. So yeah, they end up agreeing, you know. But then again, he tells them, hey, but his mother requires, from them one thing, that they bent the knee. And they did. So yeah, all is well with that one. All went well with that one. Next thing, Damon, he's helping man repair the castle, as we see that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's good leadership skills right there. I mean, he's not, being some evil ass tyrant. He's showing where he's willing to help get his hands dirty. That's one of the main principles, of being a leader. What I mean, is willing to go, charge forward, what I mean, before your army, and willing to get it done. Shit. So I was like, okay, that's decent. But yeah, but in this scene, I think this is where, he yeah, Alice Rivers, that's her name, the witch. Alice Rivers, she came to see Damon while he was at work. She tells him, you was born, she said, you was born with a sword, but not as much an axe. She was observing him chopping wood and shit, getting to work. I'm like, bitch, shut up, go do your shit. You know what I mean? Go do whatever the hell is you do. Go, leave man be. Hell, shit. Just because a man damn hell don't wield an axe as strong as this other man, this other worker, should don't mean that this man won't get to that level or even stronger in wielding that damn axe. So get your ass on somewhere, talking shit. I was like, yeah, I'm glad I caught that shit. Nonsense. Talking slick shit. Yeah, for who the hell you bitch gonna say? You were born to wield a sword, not much an axe, bitch. But yeah. But she ended up treating his hands though, because his hands was bruised up and shit. What I mean? On some man shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what happens when you working. But she tells Damon that she hears things in the wind. She hears cries of anguish, and that she sees not a war but a crime against the innocent. I was like, I wonder what she could be talking about. Huh. Oh. Probably could be because of what what he influenced Sir William Blackwood to go do, to convince House Bracken, to join the side of Damon. So I'm like, that could be what she's talking about. Or just overall the war in general, you know what I mean? Because, innocence, that's damn near with every war. So yeah, but and it's, fulfills my suspicion. Well, because Damien ends up saying, later on, telling her, hey, uh, that he's, threatened, that he sends our William, to go threaten the Brackens. He said, hell, even threaten their children, to get them to submit. Alice tells him, he shouldn't want to build an army that way, which is real talk. I mean, that's real talk because that's not just. So it's not being a just ruler. Yep. So yeah, he reveals to her that he plans on taking King's Landing, and ruling, and ruling, while Renua rules by his side as king and queen, which is traditional, you know. So, but also treasonous at the same time. So, but one thing too, she said too that I jotted down here, is where she says that Allison tells him, Alice tells him that it's a pity you never knew your mother. I was like, how the hell you knew that? It's like, wow. Um, so it's like damn it. So Game of Thrones and shit. So the world of Game of Thrones has this world of where you have these witches or these shaman bitches or some shit. You know what I mean? That that can see the past, present, and future kind of shit. I'm like, oh well, I don't know. Anyway, so bizarre it is. So yeah, let me I don't feel like it's some music going when I talk. That's me. I like to hear some music while I talk. So yeah. Yeah, so Sir Simon, he comes in, you know, interrupts with news for Damon, telling him that the Blackwoods overwhelm the Brackens and the Lord Amos has pledged his banner to Damon. So now House Bracken is his now. So I'm like, well, hey, some kind of like speaking of the devil kind of sense. They were just talking about this shit. Next thing we got Bayla. She went to her grandsire, Corliss, and she tries to uplift his grieving spirit. You know what I mean? Um, she tells him Rhaenyra wants to name him Han. So that's basically what explains, what was in the box that she gave, that Rhaenyra gave her in the last episode. No, I think earlier in this episode, yeah, she did that. Um, so it's the hand emblem. Yeah, and I thought that was cool. That she was there, to help uplift her granddad's spirit and everything. But she kind of like had to talk a little tough Tony to her grandsire too. So that was, yeah, I was like, I don't really care for that. Getting a little smart mouthy. Yeah, but then while grieving, and receiving this box from her, he tells her, man, like has she not asked enough of my house? Because of him losing, Princess Rhaenys. But he still got realize, hey, come to the realization that he still has to march forward and do his best for the kingdom. So yeah, it's like let's get down to business and grieve later. But what, one thing I thought was cool, what he told her, hey, he will make her his heir to Driftmark. But he said, no, but she said, I'm sorry. But she said, I am I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea. Huh. Okay. I'm getting this where it's going. Okay. So that tells me who she's talking about. I know who she's talking about. She must be talking about Alan, who claims he is of Psalm seed. Rhaenyra, next scene, Rhaenyra summoned, Sir Alfred and asked him, to go to Harrenhal and reason with Daemon, to learn his intentions on whether he wished to raise an army for himself or for her. So I'm like, okay, I'm interested to see how this goes. So Daemon was awoken by Sir Simon, who tells him the River Lords, wish to speak with him. The River Lords, tell Daemon because it was the River Lords uh, and that heir to the River Lords, Tully. The River Lords, they complain, about what happened to them, to their fields and shit. So yeah, so they charged that in Blackwood, with the crime, basically saying that he used the crown, he exploited the war for the crown as an excuse, to do the horrible things he did, which is real talk, yeah, because you can see that in him, but. And so I'm like, hey, well, and they told Daemon, that he has a choice, you know, to exact justice, upon what happened, or you won't get our army, or, our support. I'm like, okay, look at this youngster, this little young lord talking all tough Tony to Daemon. I'm like, okay, giving Daemon a dilemma. All right. So yeah, but Daemon, he ends up choosing to, whack his head off, whatever, So he ended up executing him. And but before he did, he was like, man, William's like, I was loyal, man. I've been loyal. I'm like, man, that's messed up. But oh well, it's messed up on what he did too. So hey, all equals out. So you can judge by that that he ends up getting the support of both houses now. So yeah. But yeah, but while listening to their complaints though, Daemon sees the ghost of his late wife, of his dead wife. Basically they asked him, have you looked after our girls? I'm like, oh man, I'm like, man, that castle, dude. That castle, man, is messing with this dude's head, man. Like, see your dead spouse pop up like that, man? Is actually like, have you looked after our girls? I'm like, oh man, that's just uh I'm like, man, I know that had to grip his heart, boy. So yeah. Well, the River Lords told him, hey, also too, the River Lords told him before, he ended up taking out William for what he did. They told him, hey, drag it or no, we will not raise our banners for a tyrant. And I'm like, hey, that's real talk. They stood up to his ass. But yeah, the next thing we have a Rhaenyra, her handmaid made it inside King's Landing. Her handmaid, whose name is Elinda. She went to go see an old friend, told him some news and all that stuff, then while Aemon The next thing, while Aemon stares at the Iron Throne, Lena came out of nowhere and asking him, "Was it worth the price?" I'm like, What was she talking about? I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh, she know this man's wicked ways. I'm like, huh? What he's done? I'm like, huh? What? Next thing you know, after Allison left Aegon's room, he awoke saying, "Mommy, mommy, mom, you don't say mommy now, motherfucker. You didn't want to listen to mommy. You didn't want to listen to mommy, motherfucker. You didn't want to listen to no one, not even your grandsire. His grandsire told him that you will regret this. Did he not? He should have listened to his grandsire. Hell, you alone his mama. He should listen to his grandsire. No, he wouldn't be looking all two-faced. Yeah, so next thing Rhaenyra complains to her son Jace, not being able to go out and fight and basically complaining about that shit and him leaving to go see the Freys without her permission. I'm like, well, Shell, he has to do what he has to do. You know, hey, as a man, just trying to help secure this kingdom for him and his mother. Because if they lose, it will be their hands. You can't get mad about that, but she did, congratulate whatever. Yeah, but she was pouting, complaining, which is no different than what he was doing. So I'm like, hey, well, his traits are rubbed off. Her traits are rubbed off on him. So they both over there complaining. Yeah, but her and Jace came with the idea of finding those in their bloodline who could become dragon riders. I was like, whoo! At this point, I was like, man, I'm like, okay, this gonna be awesome. So we're gonna have more dragons in the mist. Okay, that's smart on her, to decide that. So I'm like, okay, let's see how this gonna go. Let's see how this goes. So now we get into finally episode 6. We get into episode 6. Here we go. Let's try one more time. All right, episode 6. So, yeah. Now let me hit the banner for it before we get in there talking about. Okay. This that we're going to talk about episode 6 now. All right. All right. Now this starts off with Tyler Lannister, marching with his band. So they got to the Golden Tooth. In the next scene, real quick, we show where Aemon, has a council where he tells Kristen, to march to Harrenhal. Also tells Allison she, and he tells Allison, his mother, he's like, hey, maybe we should return to more domestic dispute. Yeah, prospects. He removes her from the council. So I'm like, oh Lord, hilarious. I'm like, yes, get out of there, get out of there. Like I said, hey, she provides some, words, of some of wisdom and reason, because she held the kingdom down before, once before temporarily. So I would totally count her out, but yeah, but she had to be removed because she was interfering, a little too much. Amy was like, yeah, we had enough of that. Yeah. So yeah, he orders Tyler Lannister, to make an alliance with this pirate group, I believe it's called. Yeah, the Charky. Okay. I want to see what y'all pirates look like in this universe. All right. So yeah, Rhaenyra, she owes a counselor herself. She calls a knight, Sir Stefan, who she found to have some Targaryen blood in him. And then, yeah, Rhaenyra asked him, to make an attempt to become a dragon rider, So uh, he quickly accepts, He was all humble, kneel before and all that stuff. Um, but the council protested against it, of course. Uh, they're totally against it. But I'm like, but hey, but she really has no other choice. I'm like, that's one of the ways how you win a war, all right, to come with such a mass to where the enemy has no choice, you know, but to yield. So yeah, but she tells him, and as the council knows, yeah, that she needs three dragon riders. She needs three more dragon riders, and she tells him, hey, but you know what you're getting yourself into now. That in order for you to claim a dragon, you must be prepared to die. So, which is the same as you can look at it, when it comes to wielding a katana or hell, say a sword. Period. Yeah, yeah. Aemon. Yeah. I realized this though. Aemon. He wants to recruit the Triarchy. So he can get them to take out the sea snakes blockade. So he can get more resources through and shit. Because the people are hungry, about to go crazy. Yeah. Well, yeah. Next thing, Damon, he had a rough talk with his brother in a vision. Hurt by the words of his brother, though. He tries to leave the throne room, but the door was locked. He felt like he couldn't get out. The door opens after he yells, "Please open the door!" like a couple of times. It's like, "Please open the door, please." I'm like, "Wow, this is the first time I see Damon like this." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Boy," I'm like, "Yeah, he that castle really uh we basically slapped some sense into Damon, as you could say. You know, basically not really broke him, but yeah, broke his wicked spirit. You could say. I don't know. That's what it seems. Shit. Oh, yeah. The door opens. He yells. Please open the door. Yeah, and Sir Simon, he opens up the door and Damon, he grabs him, thinking that he puts a knife to his throat, thinking that he accusing him, having something to do with his tormented dreams and visions and shit, just the cause of him why he's not able to sleep and shit. Oh, so but yeah, and at this point in time, yeah, he was like, man, don't come after me, leave me alone. So he was about to leave Harrenhal. Damon was about to leave Harrenhal, until the witch Alice convinced him to stay. She tells him, that there are uh and what this caught me too right here. I'm like, okay, she tells him, that uh they're both not a they're both not a player but a piece on the board. They're both not a player but a piece on the board. I'm like, huh, okay. Is she talking about someone in relations to this in the mystic spiritual realm that they have here? Okay. The forces within that realm is is controlling everything, like controlling some kind of threads of fate or whatever. Hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, let me get back to my music. Huh. Yeah, I took it off temporarily. So yeah. So oh, excuse me real quick. Let me go ahead and oh man, I was muted that time. Oh Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Back to to where I was. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. But she tells him. Yeah, Alice. She also tells Damon. That he fails to see the anger that binds him. After she tells him, hey, that that they're both not a player, but a piece on the board. She tells him because Rhaenyra didn't want the crown. It's probably why Viserys, you know, decided to give her the crown in the first place. And I'm like, well, damn. I'm like, how does she know all this? And I'm like, for her to know this and to not be there, Haxter explains, they had she possessed some kind of strong connection to the spiritual, mystical, astral realm. So, and in this though, she's basically doing is trying to get Damon to accept his role on the board and give up his obsession for the throne. She also helps. She also hopes that by giving it up, that they can stop his evil ways. In a sense, Alice tells him, that the crown. She was kind of like dropping a couple of bars in this. I'm like, okay. Um, Sinister, wicked, evil character. Okay, but to drop a couple of bars, she said a crown is not a prize but a burden. I'm like, okay, well, to the degree, yeah. Damon asked her for. Damon ends up asking her for help. To counsel him. Cause yeah, cause boy, this that castle's kind of really breaking to him. Boy, it's really got to him. That castle, Harrenhal. So he wants her to counsel him and how he can win the River Lords to his side. But as we discussed here, that's what he did. You know, he appealed to Bro Tully's request. To exact justice upon what happened and what Sir William Blackwood did, and he ends up getting uh, he ends up giving her support after he's extra justice, even though he influenced them to go do that shit. So, so yeah. The next thing we had the Sea Smoke. He refused to accept Stephen Darkland, as his rider, and he sets him and a couple of other dragon tamers, as I would call them. He sets them ablaze. He's like, ah. He's like, I don't want. He's like, ah, this dude, he's a weakling. I barely smell any Targaryen blood in him. Like, get this creature away from me. Just sets him ablaze. I'm like, good lord. So yeah, and I don't know why Rhaenyra and her son ran from the scene. Like they were scared. I'm like, the damn dragons ain't gonna do nothing to you, girl. Why the hell you was not running? That motherfucker was just pissed because you brought somebody to him and you believes to be a weakling. Yeah, so yeah, the next thing, we got Corliss, he came, to Alan, his sailor, telling him, he wants him to be his first mate and sell out with him, when it comes time for war, after the ship is finished, being constructed. But Alan at first, suggested that he choose someone else. He's like, I don't want, he's like, I'm cool right where I'm at. Just basically, being kind of humble, and I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, hey man, you should want this high position. You know what I mean? Because this your pop. First off, and two, shit. Hey, All the more better for you and your brother. His brother, whose name is Adam, who's also another sailor. So, yeah, but Coles tells you, hey, he's the most qualified. He said, plus the man respect him. But Alan asked him, this time he's like, is this a request or an order? I'm like, come on, man. Like, stop it. Of course, looked at him, gave him that look, that masculine look. I'm like, I like this exchange, right here. Just like, you know, this masculinity right here. This, yeah, like give him that stern talk. That look, that stoic look, looking at him like, hey, man. He's like, he tells him this. He's like, I would expect you to report for your duties on the morrow. Yeah, Alan replies, as my lordship commands. I'm like, yes, sir. So I'm like, yeah, that's what's up right there. That's what's up right there. I just, I like seeing, black men like that, in high authority, what I mean? Especially to seeing one black man, respecting the hierarchy, of another fellow black man. So, yeah. So Alan's brother observes this combo, from afar, looks disappointed with his brother's action. Because, yeah, and I'm like, and I'm feeling this little bro, what I mean? Because I'm like, hey, because I'm looking at him too, like, man, you should be taking this, with more of a heart of glad, though. You know what I mean? Even though you're disappointed in him for whatever reasons, reasons in the past, but you can't change for what happened in the past. So why not take this little glory, what I mean, and ride with it? But yeah, next thing we have Rhaenyra. She slaps one of her council members in the face. I forgot his name. Uh, you know, telling him because he was just giving her reports and all that stuff about what's going on currently and all that stuff. While they was walking in the hall at the same time. You know, uh, and she ends up just slapping him like she just got irritated with him. And I'm like, damn, just the disrespect they showed. I'm like, all this further disrespect towards man. What I mean? Even though she had to show her little, oh, I'm the one that's ruling kind of vibe. Okay, because she tells him, she's like, it is my fault. I think you all have forgotten to fear me. I'm like, are you serious? It's really. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, next, I mean, a vent out to Masaria. Rhaenyra tells her, you know, that she regret, of sending Sir Stefan to Sea Smoke, who basically ended up flew away after he burned dude. Because Sea Smoke was like, fuck this shit, I'm tired of this shit. He was like, shit, I miss my old rider. Yeah, yeah, she tells Rhaenyra though it was worth the risk. The Messiah also tells her that the people in the kingdom are hungry and that they should send them boats of food tagged with Rhaenyra's banner. Basically, and placing the blame on Amy, being the one for, causing the city to go hungry. Of course, what you mentioned earlier about them getting boats of food. Uh, but also during this scene too, you see with Rhaenyra, she's wishing, to be a boy so bad too. She was holding a sword and all that shit, wishing she was a man. Hell, she should have been and seek them on how to use the sword and keep her femininity intact at the same time. Shit. Yeah, you a dragon rider. Damon got a sword. How come you don't have a sword? You know? So yeah. All dragon riders should have their own damn swords. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, man. Uh, yeah, so next thing we have, Aemon, he had a council. Lord Laris informs him, the hunger situation with the people was getting worse. Aemon orders Laris to send forth, his grandsire Otto Hightower to be his hand. Because at first, when that came up, the subject came up about him choosing a hand. Lord Laris thought he was referring that Aemon was referring to him, but Aemon was like, no. He's like, no, I'm talking about Sir Otto, my grandson. Shit, they're bringing him back. I'm like, yeah, Sir Otto, damn it, that'd be your best bet. But then again, later on towards the end, we realized, hey, it will make no difference, and we'll see that Sir Otto is in a certain situation. Grant Maester comes to the council telling them Aegon is awake. So yep, so dude's awake now. I'm like, oh man, okay. Shoot, man, this dude, I'm telling you, man, like half his body is just, or more than half his body is just burnt up, dude. Like yeah, like his manhood is burst in the bubble. So he's done. He's done. Yeah, but he's still living though. But me, I would have just asked to just say take me out. Just take me out. I'm done. I'm done. But yeah, So therefore, after that, sometime after that, Grand Maester announces to the council that Aegon is awake. Aemon goes to see his brother, and questions him on, if he remembers anything. Basically making sure, to secure his position as the one ruler right now. You know, making sure that he doesn't tell nothing. Aegon, of course, tells him, hey, that he didn't see anything. He tells him nothing. He ain't seen nothing. So yeah. So yeah, next thing we have, you know, we're there, while walking, her youngest son, really, Raina comes upon a giant burnt marking. She comes up on a giant burnt marking left by a dragon. So that really, really it gives her excitement, and and such intrigue to her, she's like she can't help herself. So, but yeah, but next thing shows Lady Jane. She tells Raina that Prince Redger accepted Rhaenyra's request to shelter her youngest sons, in Pentos. So, before she leaves, Lady Raina, tells her, that she tells her, Rhaenyra's cousin, Lady Jane, that she misled her and that there is a large dragon in her lands. Lady Jane tells her, yeah, there is a large dragon. He's been looking for food, and that he is large and wild. But yeah, so that yeah, she got really excited then. So yeah, so Lady Jane arranged, for 6 men to send, Raina and the kids, to Pentos. So that's arranged. So I'm curious to see, okay, how that's gonna go. All right, Alan has a talk with his brother, and his brother is trying to tell him, hey, to be more glad, that Cola's the sea snake, is raising him up to a higher rank, to a higher station. Alan tells him, hey, yeah, he wishes not to be, dealing with him, what I mean, any longer than he has to. You know, his brother says, that he disregards him, what I mean, but uplifts Alan, who doesn't want to be uplifted. Alan tells his brother, he's like, the sea snake would have high tide claimed by the sea before he calls us his sons. Just stop wasting your time for something that will never come. I'm like, well, yeah, that's real talk. Hey, want this man to call you, to call you his sons and shit. What I mean, he ain't trying to acknowledge you as such. Hey, yeah, it's real talk. But I think after this season, he just may recognize them as his sons. So the next thing we have Jace. He meets Rhaenyra outside the castle. Where she vents to him, telling him that she's tired of the council treating her like a mother, you know, or a sister to protect, and not seeing her as a ruler that can fight. And I'm like, it's natural. That's natural, woman. Just complain. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to hear these complaints. Just stop it. Stop the whining. Shit. And practice acceptance. Damn. But yeah, but Miss Arya, she interrupts them, you know. Excuse me, you know, telling her that the gift has arrived. Basically, the many boats of the food uh, that she sent off to King's Landing. She sent made it there, and so yeah, so that mission is accomplished. Allison, next thing, Allison, she talks with her brother Gwaine about about if he's heard from from Sir Otto. He tells her no, that he hasn't. So I'm curious because he was supposed to be in Oldstown. He was supposed to have gone to Oldstown. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, damn, I hope Otto was okay. Because you can, I mean, because I can say this though, man. Salute to Otto, Sir Otto, because he throughout the series he hasn't been like really on any like wicked shit. You know, what I mean, for what I can remember. You know, he always try to rule uh with wisdom and uh and with a great clear vision and with patience. So, uh, so I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. What's up with that? So next thing, Gawain sets off again with Kristen. You know, Allison, asks Helena to come with her to light a candle for her son when it was in this like little, I think, temple or whatever. So when the food arrived, right, from the boats and shit, made its way into the city. It caused chaos. So, but you see him, he making sure to grab some food for him and his wife real quick. Well, it was like, man, just savagery with it. But, it's that's also natural too, to expect that. Um, so yeah, Allison, coming her and Helena, they got attacked by the crowd because they was coming from the temple, going back to the castle, making their way back to the castle. But yeah, they was attacked by the crowd, and one old man grabbed Allison's arm, and then real quick, well, one of her knights sliced the old man's arm off, and she urged him, not to do that. What I mean, let's just hurry up and get out of here, kind of shit. And plus, yeah, because which is wise, because they don't want to seem any more bad or wicked than they already seen. So, which is understandable. But man, I'm like, damn, like he had to chop off the old man's arm off. I'm like, damn, could have just knocked his arm away. Oh well. All right. Yeah. Next thing you know, Lord Lara stops the nurse, from giving painkillers to to Aegon. You know, Aegon, he's like, no, no, no. But Lord tells him, he was like, yeah, it would have eased your pain, but dull your mind. Huh. Okay. So therefore, he's trying to work on with him and to strengthen, his mind, to having to be more witty and cunning. To make that his greatest power. Thus, like he did. Because he's, was faced, because he's faced the hardships of being a cripple. So therefore, he knows. So he's passed on his experience on to him. Um, so yeah. Yeah, next scene of Damon, he has another vision of him holding his brother, who was crying, over losing his wife, who was uh Rhaenyra's mother, I believe. Yep, I think that was Rhaenyra's mother. Yep. And so I was like, man, that just, like, boy, yeah, this council. I'm like, yeah, it's really working on him, man. Really like trying to break him down, to get him to stop being all evil and shit, trying to break all that evil from him.
appealing to them in these sorts of ways that will shake up anybody, really. So Simon wakes up Damon though, and telling him the old man Tully died, and young Grover Tully is now head. So yeah, and we got in this right here at the end. This I was like, oh shoot, because it showed where Seed Smoke was coming towards where Alan's brother Adam, you know, they're Alan of Hall and Adam of Hall. So yeah, Adam of Hall, right? Alan's what it seems to be his younger brother. Boy, I'm like, woo, because his younger brother is claimed by Sea Smoke. Ah, so now we got two black men in high positions. Yes, yeah. And now our very first dragon rider, our very first black dragon rider, y'all. I'm like, bravo, bravo. So I'm curious to see, okay, especially for this next season, of how y'all gonna make him. Like what y'all gonna do with him. How y'all gonna make him fight, everything. How y'all gonna make him fight with his dragon. Hopefully I'm hoping that they'll show that he's mastered, the art of dragon riding. So I'm like, oh, well, man, but that would be. Well, I'm just thinking, man, just putting myself like in that position, like, boy, I'll be so scared. I'll be kind of like scared at first, yeah. Like I would be kind of like, I would have kind of pissed my pants. I ain't gonna lie. Boy, like I would have, yeah, I would have, yeah, no. I mean, no, I can't. No, what are you talking about? We just closed. No, no, sir. And it is episode 2 where I'm like, oh my God, y'all had to put this in there too, man. Oh my God. Y'all had to put this in there. Y'all just couldn't help yourself to put a little gay scene in there. I mean, a little GA scene, yeah. A whole dyke scene with them, with Rhaenyra kissing Massaria. Which I looked up Massaria's character. She played in quite a few different films, actually. She's a she's a Japanese actress. She's a Japanese actress, and I think she's in her 30s. The character that plays Massaria, the White Worm, yeah, she's Japanese. So that's why I kind of like, yeah, that's why her little demeanor and her whole like allure, just resembles that, of the Japanese women, how their postures be, Mm, yeah, so I was just, mm, yeah, yeah. So and their kiss was interrupted by a night telling her that the sea smoke has found a new writer, And this woman, yeah, she couldn't, yeah, she couldn't help herself. Oh, she had to head out. So yeah, so she head out, flying out to the location of where the new Dragon Rider is, and we have finished that episode. Now on to episode 7. Yes, so let's go. I gotta check the replay and check to see how that played because it was kind of acting up on my end. So for some weird reason, um, so yeah, let's get into it, man. We are going to be on episode 7 right now. Oh yes, man, near the end. We are near the end. Yes, and we shall get there too. We shall get there, my people. All right, my bros. So people would know what we're talking about. All right. So, excuse me. All right. So yeah, and here in episode 7, Rhaenyra found a new writer. Right? She found him. You know, checking him out. You know, questioning him everything. And me seeing this, I'm like, ooh. I'm like, I know the pro blacks and black women don't like that, boy. I'm like, I know the pro blacks and black women don't like this scene right here. Like, I know they didn't like seeing that. Oh yeah, I know they didn't like seeing that one. But yeah, but no, he was, um, didn't come defiant. Was like, oh, I got a dragon now. Like, who are you? Then we can, have a dragon battle right now. Like, no, he's coming totally humble. He bent the knee, and as you see, and hey, he's like, I'm willing to serve. I want to serve my queen. My kingdom, and I'm willing to learn the art of dragon riding. So that's real talk. But the messed up thing is, though, he said he doesn't, keep a track record of him and Adam. I mean, him and Adam, Alan doesn't. They don't keep a track record of their family lineage like that. So I was like, oh man, that would have been cool if they did. So yeah. So the next thing we have Allison. She tells one of her guards, she wants to go out, to the Kingswood, and wants only him to follow her. So, and this particular actor, that was her personal guard, who was from one of the King's Guard, uh, who acted as her personal guard. He, the gentleman that went with her, that night that went with her, y'all can look at him and tell him, tell me that, hey, if he's played in any other roles before, because I'm pretty certain that he has. That gentleman that was following. that followed Allison, as her bodyguard. So I was like, yeah, I've seen him, plenty of other films, man. His face looked very familiar. Don't know the guy's name, but yeah. Yeah, so in the next scene, Lord Jasper tells Lord Laris, of a rumor. And he's the guy, the other guy at the council, who has the dark, full beard. Um, he tells him, hey, of a rumor, about someone seeing sea smoke with a writer. Laris tells him, hey, it's a whisper, for him to handle. But Jasper came to him asking him, like, hey, what must I do, man? With this whisper, with this rumor. Should I bring it to Aemon? Basically in hopes of to gain some favor with him. You know what I mean? But but he said, hey, he'll rather give it to him, so he can take it to Aemon. But Lolaris tells him, hey, he thinks there should be a whisper left to the wind because because Lord Jasper tells him, hey, that the whisper went through like a few people before it got to him. So, so yeah, so he said, leave that to the wind, till something more concrete comes out. But I'm like thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe he told him that because Lord Laris, don't want to, I don't know, serve Aemon like that and leaning more towards Aegon and helping Aegon. So, So I'm like, oh, who knows? So, yeah, next thing, we have a knight reported, to the council. The Rhaenyra made it back safe, with the new rider, with the new dragon rider. But one of the council members protested saying, a lowborn, a commoner should be riding dragons. This is what he told Corlys, Lord Corlys. Because because they told Lord Corlys that one of the new dragon rider is one of his shipwrights. Corlys, he was a little shocked, at first, but Lord Corlys checks the council member. He said, "Hey, what should be done about this? What you gonna do about this, Lord Corlys?" He's like, "Well, no, we're gonna wait to hear back uh, from Queen Rhaenyra. Hear her words about this herself." So, yeah, next thing, Miss Saria telling, she telling Rhaenyra that she should be able to find people right here in Dragonstone because Rhaenyra is looking puzzled, trying to find more dragon riders because now she needs two more dragon riders, y'all, two more because at first she needed three. So, yeah, so that's what she does. She looked for some people, here in they're in Dragonstone. So, and Corliss, next thing talks with Adam, first time so I'm like, dang, so this is the first time really he's acknowledging Adam. So okay, or recognizing Adam. Came congratulating Adam, telling him well done, and Adam asked for, for him to grant him, uh, permission to leave, from his post. Corliss granted it. He's like, granted it. I'm like, man, I jotted that down because I'm like, man, dude, that was a moment right there for him and Corliss to like, I don't know, man, just for him to more involved, intrigued, and everything, So, but then again, it's like, man, it's like now you want to come through after, you know, after I done rose up, what I mean? But you had me working for you, it's a shit right, but you hardly care for me or had any interest in me until now. So I can kind of, understand the situation. I can understand the situation on that. So yeah. So yeah, whatever the next thing, young Will Turley, yep, this is where it happens. Where Will Turley made Damon execute justice on dude on what happened, for what happened to the Brackens, homeland, and to some of their people, in order to get their army, their army support to ride under Rhaenyra's banner. So so yeah, we're gonna go skip from there to all the way down to where Damon, he has your vision. He has a vision this time. I mean, he has a vision, but this time he sees Viserys, holding the crown. And this one, was very was something that you could really hold the heart. This is a very touching moment. Because Viserys, he told Damon while Damon was sitting on the bed with him that he never wanted the crown. And I think I remember where, yeah, Viserys mentioned that before or expressed that before, once before. He said he never wanted the crown. He said it crushes whoever wears it. He really tells Damon, "You wanted it, Damon. Do you still want it?"
Basically, I see is like these mythical or astral or spiritual forces, from the spiritual realm that he's dealing with by being in Harrenhal, is basically trying to help steer Damon back onto the board of where this malevolent force, wants him to go to be on, that he doesn't want him in the direction of going towards the crown, but to be in the help of support of the crown, basically fulfilling his own role that this mystical force is trying to steer him towards, to be more to be more accepted of things. So yeah, I was like, wow. So that was pretty, that was something right there. He said he says, I never want the crown. It crushes whoever wears it. You always wanted it, Damon. Do you still want it? Oh man. So I was like, okay, I see what these forces are doing with Damon. So Aegon, and the next thing, Aegon is trying to walk. He struggles trying to walk and stuff, but in pain. Grand Maester and Lord Larys, quickly comes and helps him, back up to his bed.
Laris tells Aegon, uh, that he's making great progress, but he needs to work harder. So, like I said, at this point, Lord Laris is trying to strengthen his mindset, to be more stronger, uh, and to be more crafty, more, cunning and all that shit, and to be more wiser, and the plan ahead better. That's all, like all of that, he's trying to pass that on to him, to pass on to him of what he learned. So, so this clearly shows that he's really is gravitating towards, more so towards Aegon than Aemon. Definitely since Aemon, stated that, yeah, that he's not caring to make him into you know, the hand of the king. So, so yeah, next thing we have Corlys tells Alan, he has a few tasks for him, that his brother Adam is one of the new writers. Just as soon as he told him that, I thought it was cool because to see how his brother, how Alan was shocked that his brother Adam, became one of the new dragon riders. He was had this shocked look on his face. He's like, "What the hell? Like, what the fuck?" He's like, "Damn." Yeah. So, um, yeah, he also tells them, that they are from Old Valerian, Valeria, as in Corlys, Allen, and his brother. But they are. He said, but they are no dragon riders. I'm like, but as apparently, for what it seems, that's not the case. That if you have that blood in you, there's a good possibility where you could become a dragon rider. But shit, if I know that shit's staying in me, I ain't taking no damn chances. Shit, hell, you ain't gonna have me go up there and be a dummy and get barbecued. Nope, nope. You ain't gonna have me Dracarys. Nope. But yeah, Corliss, he also tells him too that he regrets not knowing, his mother's heritage. So like, yeah, that's a dumb mistake on your part. It's something that you should have been and got or had. I'm sorry. So yeah, Alan in the next scene, he or the next line, he responded to him, telling him, my brother was ever restless, yearning for some sign of his worth. I am of salt and sea. Oh, hey, let's go back. Hey, he responds. Alan responded to Corliss telling him this. He's like, hey, my brother was ever restless, yearning for some sign of his worth. I am of salt and sea. I yearn for nothing else. And so, man, I just like this, masculine exchange right here. So feel me, man. Like just all this masculinity just exude all through this exchange right here. Just because he looked at Corliss, looked at him, he was like, getting to look like, okay, shit, I rocks with that. Hey, all right, shit. Well, gave him that look. Okay, I rocks with that. Well, all right. Well, back to it then. Shit, all right. But right there where he says, hey, I'm of salt and sea. Now, last episode, we got where um, Bela, who came, trying to counsel her grandsire, give him, um, trying to uplift his spirits and gave him that box, presented him that Rhaenyra wants him to be had. Yeah, when she told her right there and there that hey, that when he tried to pass the throne, the Driftmark to her, she rejected it, telling him, no, it should be passed to Salt and Sea. She said, I am a blood and fire. So yeah. So that explains it. Yep. So basically we can see that since he says, he's of Salt and Sea, then it clearly shows that it may end up being passed to him. So so yep, hey. So that would definitely put both brothers in higher positions than they ever would have, dreamed of. So so that's awesome. You know, that's an awesome thing to consider right there. Two black men in high positions. Yeah. So so yeah, next thing we have Lady Jane. Lady Jane sees Raina, and the children off, at the gate. Uh, Raina, she's looking like she's like stressed and caught in some, you know, uh, I'll say like the some kind of indecisiveness, going on within her because as y'all can see in that scene, because as Lady Jane, her men, start walking back and the gate started to close. After the gate closed, Raina quickly took off, basically left the men, that was charged, to her and the children, to guide them, and keeping them in safety and to protect them. In which case, also she was supposed to be there to provide uh, some level of protection herself. You know what I mean? To oversee the protection of her nearest children. But no, but this selfish ass Hifo, what the hell she did? No, she's like I just now I know definitely there's a dragon. Oh my god, I just can't take it. I gotta go out there and I just gotta go claim this dragon. Oh, I'm like, I want to go with the kids, but damn it, I gotta go before we leave these lands. I gotta go see if I can claim this dragon. Because I'm thinking like, okay, maybe she's thinking that she can go ahead and claim a dragon and come back and meet up with the children, or does see go to Rhaenyra and say, hey, see, I claimed the dragon, now I can help out in the war now. No, no, no. You should have been, you should have followed your queen's orders. Damn it, hell, you should went out to claim that dragon. Hell, after shit. Yeah. So yeah. So basically, in turn, she said, "F those kids." I was like, "Damn, man." I'm like, "You envious, covetous, jealous, hearted ass girl." But then again, she fulfilled her part when it comes to, you know, helping Rhaenyra out by, fulfilling helping her to fulfill her end of the bargain, her end of the deal with bringing those dragons over, those uh, those dragon eggs. So yeah, uh, So the next thing we have, Allison, they show her basically she's in the woods, with that one personal guard. Yeah, she's basically showing where she's just trying to get away. Damn it, she's like, this is too much chaos. But just after all that, hey, I can't blame her. And the next scene, quickly, the next scene, Jace, uh, here he's complaining to his mother, Rhaenyra. Oh my God, he's bitching to her about lowborns, claiming dragons. You know, he called them mongrels. I'm like, you little bastard, shut your ass up. You ain't full blooded either. Shut your ass up. Hell, I'm like, it's like at this point, I'm like, dude, I just wanted to just down there choke the hell out of this boy. I'm like, can't you not see that she's doing this, man? Like, for the greater good, man. He's worried about lineage and who can claim. And motherfucker, no, you shouldn't even trip about all that, bud. Like, just stop it, man. Just stop it. So, oh yeah, put back to my music. I'm like, just stop it. Yeah. He says, like, House Targaryen is the blood of the dragon. If any may lay claim to it, then what are we then? I'm like, well, you are still y'all. This is out of high necessity. I mean, there was no other better plan than this. So shut up, little dude. Yeah. So she tells him, with these writers, that she can end a needless war, and that's basically what the hell she's trying to do. Jason is damn crying, you know, while begging his mother, to not look for new writers, but she tells him no when she storms off. I'm like, damn right, a whiny ass boy. Yeah, Masari, next scene, she hands over a small pouch containing a letter from Rhaenyra that she gave to Alan, whom in turn gave to someone who made sure to get it from to one of Alice's handmaidens. She as well, after reading the letter, uh, gave the news to one of the guards, who then took the news to a local tavern, local bar. Where we see in this, where we're dealing with Oath, he's there with his friends at the bar, what I mean, and the man who's related to Damon, so yeah, he was told about the recruitment, while at the bar, and his friends was, egging him on to go ahead and go out there, catch the boats, to go out there so they can get to Dragonstone, so that Rhaenyra can, find the people that she needs, to become because she needed two. She has two more spots open. She needed two more dragon riders. So yeah, and also too the blacksmith, Hugh Hammer, uh, also caught this news, and he's talking to his wife about it, and and at this time I believe their daughter passed away. So um, but he also tells his wife too that on this one that he's basically going to go, and he's gonna go for it. Basically, he's gonna have to leave her there alone in King's Landing. Um, so yeah, but before he goes off, he tells her that that his mother, who was a silverhead whore, was related to Viserys. His mother was basically the sister of Viserys' dad. So you remember, yeah. So yeah, he tells his wife he's going, and that was that, what I mean? So he's gonna go there so he can establish a better life for them. So yeah, next scene, Alan, you know, he guides the new recruits to the boats. He's there fulfilling his role, what Corliss set out for him to do. Allison, next thing we see her, she's relaxing, while swimming, in some river. I'm like, oh man, she's like, oh, I needed this, like she needed to escape. uh, was it decompress? Yeah, that's what she was doing. Yeah, which case I don't blame her wild ass. But like I said, with these characters, man, a lot of their turmoil is self-inflicted. But yeah, so next thing, yeah, the Dragon Tamers told Rhaenyra that their recruitment, is an abomination, and that their order refused to take part in it. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, Jason, now you bastards. I'm like, can't y'all see, damn it, that this is for the best? Even though, yes, they do have a right to precaution her because of them losing, I think, what, two dragon tamers at the same time, uh while Sir Darkland was charcoal. Stefan Darkland. So I don't, I can understand. I see that, but still, but so she chose to, continue the process herself. So she gives them, like some kind of motivational speech or whatever. What I mean? They give them a choice to go through it or not. But so yeah, so she sends them in, to see who. Now Vermithor was the next dragon to be claimed that she calls out to. Vermithor, the largest dragon in the world, second to Vagar, whom belongs to Aemon. They would choose to be his rider. Let's see which one would choose to be his rider, so his new rider. So as the Vermithor came out, boy, man, let me tell you, son. Let me tell you. I'm like, boy. It was kind of acting defiant for a minute, but with Rhaenyra, was checking the dragon, telling his ass, hey, he must serve, that he is to serve. I hope it calmed down. He was acting up. He was like, what's all these damn people here? Ah, I smell my new rider, but he's in the midst of all these funky scents. Ah, it's too much. I may have to set some of them ablaze, Rhaenyra. You know this, don't you? It's like that's the look that I got though. There, I mean, that's what was what I sensed though. There when I seen um, them two locking eye to eye, Vermithor and Rhaenyra. And so, she had one dude come up, who looked like, he was a little crippled too, or maybe a little disabled or whatever. Um, you know, Vermithor sniffed him, it was like, burnt. He burnt most of them, man. Like, he burnt most of them, y'all. Boy, I ain't seeing that dragon. I would have been, far back where the guards were. No, hell no. You see that big that dragon was, man? Hell no. Might be the same size or a little, if not a little bigger than Vermithor. Than Vagar. So I'm looking at him roasting all of them. He's like, He's like, all this funky sense. I gotta roast all of it. I gotta, ah. And so, yeah. And so after burning everybody, boom, and that's where you see, Hugh Hammer, him being claimed by Vermithor after displaying, great deal of courage, helping out, one of the recruits, helping her to escape, took her place, in Vermithor's gaze, and gave her courage and shout. Damn it, he's like, come on. Vermithor's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I want you to be my new writer. So I'm like, boom, there you go. Even though it's kind of messed up, man, of how, of the whole selection, of the whole determining, of who will become the writer, factor. That, yeah, that was devastating. Yeah. Even though they had to go through that, heartache and terror of that, it's still something that I guess it needed to be done. It's one of those things you can say, hey, well, should this thing have been done or should it not have been done? But it's something that needed to be done. Um, so, yeah. Yep. So yeah, Rhaenyra, she acknowledges this. She's smiling, glad, and now she, found another one. The second one now. Now she got one more. Damn it, that she needs to find a new. That needs a new writer. Next thing we see Oath. He's constantly running away, running even though damn it, Vermithor is nowhere near his sight. He's trying to escape his wrath. Shit, he's just terrified, scared of shit. He came up on a dragon. Which this dragon's name? Forgot. I think I don't want to. I don't want to say it, because I don't want to get it wrong. But yeah, the dragon was kind of acting playful with him at first, just messing with him. But yeah, but he ends up, sniffing him out. Made a choice to choose Oath. The goofy Oath. You know, he's up choosing him. So, so Amy. Next thing we show Amy, he was having a little council. Where Lara Strong was there too, and they couldn't concentrate because they were distracted. And it was cool to see it. How how shocked Eamon was when he seen When he opened up the doors to see what all the commotion was about, he sees them, and then the whole dragon, a new dragon rider, was coming through. So yeah, so he hurries up, man, and dips out, to get on his dragon Vagar, and basically acting as if he's going to pursue what we all would think, going to pursue after this dragon, since he knows he has a bigger dragon, right? But he knew something. And for some reason, because for some reason he he averted. He pulled back. He pulled back. I was like, after all that, running to get to your dragon, from where your dragon was left off, whatever, you got all the way midpoint and decide to just veer off to the left. Then just let's Vermithor, let's Vagar, let's go. Let's go. Now we ain't fighting today. Let's go. So I'm like, what's up with that, man? So I'm like, well, did he must have did that out of fear or something or what? So yeah. So we see, oh, he's having a good time on his on his dragon. Ah. So yeah, Eamon, he's pissed off about this ordeal, boy. So yeah, lastly, in this episode, Rhaenyra, poses with an evil stare with her new riders in the background. They're like, oh, just signifying, that she's ready. She believes she's ready now. Damn it, she got all her new dragon riders. Damn it, that she needs. She's ready. Yeah, she's ready to go. Yeah, now, but we gonna get on to the last episode. And before we do, yeah, I want to show this real quick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We gotta show this real quick. Yeah, because this was an epic scene right here. This is something else.
Slow burn. Make sure I feel everything, cause I'll never learn. If I don't face myself and let it burn. No matter what's killing me, I stay up to everything. I wanna feel the slow burn.
Yeah. I was like, oh boy, it's about to go down. Let's just go into the eighth episode. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go. Ah. So okay, let me change the banner. So let people know what episode we're talking about. All right. Uh, so, boom. There we go. Woo wee, boy. Let's go. Let's have it. Whoo! Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ah, let's go. Let's go. Oh, get my music. Get my music. Yes, 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 yes. Let's go back to my music. Oh man, my little chill music. Yes, yes, yes. All right. All right. Now, beginning of this, okay. Tylen Lannister, he's negotiating with the Cherokee, this pirate crew, and getting them to, just to get them to break the blockade and shit. Um, but but in order to help them, whatever, they said, okay, in order for us to help you, we gotta in this negotiation, we want the stepstones. They desired the stepstones in exchange. But there was also another condition that Tyler must take their commander, you know, the commander of their group, whose name is Lohar. But their commander Lohar comes through, who happens to be a woman, some kind of manly looking, oh, Viking butch looking bitch. Um, yeah, she comes to tell him, oh well, says I won't sail with a man who cannot best me. I'm like, bitch, man, best you in what? Best you in what? Okay. So next thing Aemon, his dragon, Aemon and his dragon, stare at the city, at Sharp Point, which is the name of the city, Sharp Point. The city just burned while people are screaming, in agony and everything. I'm like, damn, I'm like, you wicked bastard, you just burnt the whole city. All right. Next thing while the maester was giving Aegon, some medicine and rum, Lord Larys comes in telling him that they must leave King's Landing quickly, telling him Rhaenyra found her riders. And then Aemon, shall seek to kill him, to delete him. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, that means you better hurry up and hightail it out of there, bud. So then and Larys tells Aegon, he tells him, that they'll go to Bravos and stay until Aemon, and Rhaenyra have destroyed each other. I thought it was funny because Aegon, he was like, "Hey," because I'm like, "Dude, you deal with what you deal with. Hey, you can't help what you can't help." Because Aegon made a little complaint to him. He was like, "You want me to go live? You want me to go live with the goat fuckers?" oh. oh. So you want me to go live with the goat fuckers? Oh Lord. So that's you. That's something you have to deal with. Hey, somebody said, "Shut up, dude." Like you in no position to be defiant right now whatsoever. Especially do that with a man, who's there. A man who's there. One of the only men is there, really, just really trying to help you. Other than the Grand Maester, of course. So yeah. Next thing, we see Rhaena. She still desperately hunts for the dragon. And I'm like, girl, I'm like, man, you just, she's all dirtied up and stuff, man. She's just desperately trying to search for this dragon. Far, far away from, from where the, from where the children is, from where she's supposed to be. Because that was her charge. So yeah. Um, so yeah, next thing we see Jace. Jace checks off on his disrespect and ill manners that he was displaying. Because the man had his feet. What I mean, propped up on the damn council table and shit. What I mean, just acting too boastful and childish too at the same time. So yeah, so he checks his ass too, like what I mean, on some true stoic masculine shit though. Even though damn it, he was a little bit upset too. Shit, pissed, still pissed with his mother and her decision. But he still, kept himself, stern and stoic though when he was talking to Oath, checking him on this one, on his behavior. I jotted this down too. I was like, oh man, this is worth mentioning, So so yeah. So yeah, and Hugh Hammer, blacksmith, I remind Oath like, hey, who Jace is. He telling me this is the prince. So he quickly, should adjust himself, then got off the table and everything. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my prince. Yeah, he was like, oh, my prince, oh my God. Y'all went to grab his hair and shit. Dude knocked his hand out. Like, motherfucker, don't touch my hair. What the hell? So yeah, dude was just all out of order, man. This Oath dude is all out of order. So I'm like, dude, this dude acting like it's a little tough for him to find some damn discipline. So yeah, and Jace tells them, what Aemon just did, by burning down Sharp Point and stuff. What I mean? So yeah. And he also checks Oath and tells him, he tells Oath, he's like, will you be prepared for such an enemy, or will you stay here and make yourself easy? He said, because if you hinder our efforts through sloth or unreadiness, I will see you hanged and your body fed to the dogs on the street. Yeah, Oath humbles himself real quick. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I like that little dude. I'm like, give me more of that, damn it, than whining, motherfucker. Yeah, give me more of that sternness, young lad, than all that whining. Give me more of that stoicism, shit. So the next thing, Rhaenyra goes to Driftmark to talk to Corlys. He tells her basically, he tells her the High Towers, have another player in the game. I'm like, who? Who is he talking about? I wonder. I'm like, who has another dragon at their side? You know what I mean? So. Cause she's going there, tell them, hey, about the new recruits, I mean, they're selling land and everything else, I mean, but she's a little somewhat unsure, but she's, going to check them out and see how they do. When his ship was brought up, in the discussion, he tells her that that he changed the name of his ship from Sea Smoke to the Queen Who Never Was. They mentioned Helena that she could be, that it may be possible that Aemon will use her to fly, to start flying a dragon, which I think her dragon's name if you ever choose a fly, is a Dreamfire. Dreamfire. So yeah, that's what I think it is. But which is highly unlikely. So it seems that damn hell that she cares about more the mystical world than anything, than any of that shit. So she's like she wants to operate like it's in some kind of oracle or something. I don't know. But yeah, but yeah, she's talking to Corliss, about the new writer. She mentions that she mentions about Adam. You know, Corliss tells Rhaenyra that he regretted, not having to know him, to get to know him and shit. So, but she did say, that from what was reported to him about Adam of Hull, that he is a man of integrity. So you got two black men, it's a man of integrity, man of faithfulness. Two black men who are faithful, men of integrity, you know, stoic, stern and masculine principles and shit. You know what I mean? And it's on surviving and taking care of one another as brothers. I loves that. I loves that shit. Yes, yes, yes. Give me more. So, and yeah, so he also tells us, he also tells Rhaenyra in this time, hey, that this would be a good time for you guys to strike, So, I'm guessing she's taking his advice, heeding Corliss's words, and yeah, because she seems like that's what she's ready to do now. So, but she also, wants to hold off right before she does that and making sure that Daemon comes through on his end. Because that's the last piece of what they need to kick it off. To make their move, to make their attack, to kick off the war. So I'm like, huh? So who's this other dragon that Aemon, has at his disposal? I'm like, so is it only Dreamfire he's talking about? So Alfred, one of the council members, of Rhaenyra's council, came and he came to Harrenhal, met up with Daemon, and check up on him and tell Daemon, hey, of his purpose there, why he's there. But he told him that he's also came there too to tell him that, hey, that he would, and him and other council members, and other parties, another man would quickly stand by him if he was to take up the mantle as ruler, while having Rhaenyra rule by his side. You know what I mean? So, but he said he would like, even though that he respects Rhaenyra, you know what I mean, and it doesn't disregard her her influence and all that stuff. But he said at this time, it will be better, way better for the men all around in the kingdom if the man rule, because it will be more of a better show of strength, obviously. So yeah. So yeah, hopefully I can be heard. Yeah, okay. We're good. Yeah, but in the midst of while talking to Damon, that was kind of funny how boy, the council in no time, boy, they waste no time and started fucking with Alfred a little bit because he turned around, because there was a little whisper that was going through the castle that he heard. Because he turned around, he was like, "Did you hear something?" Oh shit! I'm like, "Oh yeah, here we go." And then Damon tells him, he was like, "This place will have you barking at the moon." Oh shit! He said, "This place will have you barking at the moon." You damn right, because he knows by experience he ain't lying. Because that's what the hell Devin Harry Hall's doing to him. Woo. Yeah, so he said, "What we need in this," Alfred tells him, Damon, that what we need in this moment is a king. Yeah, next thing, we got Allison. She talks with Helena. They're been talking. Helena tells her she was happier before she became queen. I'm like, okay. I mean, she could say that, after, all this was going on, yeah. I can understand that. Well, while the two chats, so this is where Aemon comes in, basically ordered for Helena to get on her dragon and fight against Rhaenyra, because he's worried and stressed out, pissed, today that she actually managed to get new dragon riders. So he grabs her arm, by the arm and everything. But nah, Allison, she quickly steps in and, pulling his arm off, telling him, hey, she checks him, telling him, hey, man, you want to rule 7 kingdoms and shit, but you want to punish its people when your feelings get hurt. That's real talk. He knew it was real talk, so therefore that's why he ended up releasing Helena's arm and walks off. Oh yeah, that's real talk. I mean, shit. So you either do what you can, motherfucker, with what you got in your dragon, or in the armies like you got the Lannisters and them. So yeah, and the Triarchy. If you can't, make something happen with that, hey, bow out. Shit. That's what I say. So, yeah. So next thing we see where Allison, right after that, after what happened with Aemon, rushes over to the Grand Maester, asking him to, to help her get passage, and his discretion, because she's trying to, she's trying to dip. She really want to get away from all this shit. But no, it wasn't for what I thought though. It was passage for something else. But next thing we got Sir Gawain, questions Kristen, pointing the sword at his throat. Right? He's pointing the sword at this dude's throat. Because he's pissed off, to find out that basically, because at this time, Kristen, he's sniffing the hell out of this cloth that Allison gave him. And I guess he pieced it together, Sir Gawain, and because he sees the cloth, that he's seen earlier of his sister, given to him, to Kristen. So he had the sword in his throat, and questions him, damn it. You know, he's pissed off to find out that he was screwing his sister. So after telling him, you know, his love for his sister and all that stuff, I definitely had to jot this down, man, because this was a lesson too for, you know, a lesson in masculinity and a lesson for all those who are these blue pill beta male simps, because therefore you got a lot of these Sir Christians. There are too many Sir Christians out here. As you'll see what I'm talking about as we go further. So Wayne drops his sword after he declares his love for, you know, for Allison and what she means to him and everything. You know, for basically for saving his life twice, as he claims. You know, saying that she's the beacon that he follows. It's just, you know, simp language, beta male language. While Gawain looks down at the ground, still pissed, Kristen tells him, he said, "Do not think I have no shame in me, sir. The desire for women has brought me grief after grief." You know, again, he said, "Do not think I have no shame in me, sir. Desire for women has brought me grief after grief." And the same as us men here, you know, especially in this space, we would say the same thing, you know, in such regard. We'll the same thing as Gawain said to him, you know. He's like, well, because then resist it. It's causing you grief after grief. I think a lot of these simp rangers and these die-hard blue pill beta males are definitely like a Sir Christian, who want to wallow in the grief that is caused by women because they choose to, you know, choosing to desire to have such a strong desire for them, because they continue to allow that desire to consume them every time. So, thus, that man is on some real man shit. Gawain said, "Oh, well, resist it then." But Kristen said, said he would if it was so simple. Gawain said in turn, "Your brothers in the King's Guard found a way." I'm like, real shit. So yeah, really, dude, my dude, there's no excuse, really. You were the cause of your own misery, Kristen. So yeah, so there's just no fault but yours. But then it's then like the simp would do, right? Like the simp does, Kristen responds to that saying, Do they found a way? Or perhaps all men are corrupt, and true honor is a mist that melts in the morning. Gawain told him that is a bleak philosophy, which it is bleak. And it just shameful, really. Shameful. He said there's a bleak philosophy. And then Kristen tells him, well, his philosophy is the sword. He tells Gawain, hey, they march towards towards their annihilation, and that to die will be a relief. I'm like, come on, man. Just a relief because you can't handle the pressure of what you cause because you are a beta male fucking simp ranger, simp enforcer ass weakling. You can't control his impulses whatsoever. So yeah, I say the motherfucker should have been kicked out of court a long time ago. Because nobody in their right mind should want a hothead on their team. What the hell? Motherfuckers you barely control his damn emotions. Hell no. See, the next thing we got, Tylen Lannister, having a damn a mud wrestling match with this tall butch Viking looking bitch. He beats her in this mud wrestling match. He struggled at first though. Yeah, she was getting him at first. But he ended up getting her though in the end, shit, and he ends up impressing her. And after that, she agrees to sell with him. So I'm like, oh man. Ugh. I'm like, yeah, you white folks, what's up with you white folks in mud and shit, man? Like, boy, y'all love wrestling in mud and shit. Well, yeah. So, next thing we got, Baylor tells Jace, basically to stop sulking and crying, stop crying like a bitch, and take his mother's place, take his place, by his mother's side. Rhaena, next thing she sleeps next to a rock, taking a break, before searching for this dragon, you know what I mean? And yeah, during their feast, they had, these pirates, the Charaki. Lohar tells Tylen, basically, she's like I want to have your children. He's the first thing like, oh shit, man, your butch ass want me to screw you? Before any of that come out, she was like, I want you to screw my wives. Ugh. I was like, okay, what the hell? Then he asked her, he was like, hey, how many wives do you have? Shit. Even though still, motherfucker, hey, Tylen better than me because I would have charged her, damn it. Hey, motherfucker, hell, I ain't giving up my seed for free, hippo. No? Shit. The hell wrong with you? Yeah, so next thing Rhaenyra, just having dinner with the new writers. Oath, who can't help himself but, be all ill-mannered and shit, at the damn dinner table. Where all the new writers, and including Baylor and Jace are there too as well. So, she's there, toasting to them, congratulating them, hey, for being selected, for being the new writers and stuff. Well for, that they will be greatly rewarded, basically. But man, Oath shitty manners at the damn table, boy. He's something else, but he's also hilarious too. He's really not as irritating to me as it is with Jace, but But dude, man. But man, oh god. So yeah. Yeah, so if they serve her well, she tells them, they'll become knights of the realm. Okay. And Oprah's like, oh man, look at boys, look at that. We'll be knights, man. She said, we'll be knights. Yeah, she tells them, they must train, of course, learn their dragons, and be ready to head out in 2 days' time. So that means, damn it, they need to get to some hardcore studying. Because, boy, you motherfuckers going to be studying High Valerian. I'm like, psh, man, but I would say, hey, 2 days' time, oh, yeah, let me learn the basics. What I mean? Like these 5 main bullet points that what the hell I need to know when it comes to between me and my dragon when it comes to the Valerian speech. Everything else, boom, you could possibly learn, in 2 days. So yeah. But Adam Hall asked her, hey, what about Vagar though? Showing that man, he's kind of a little worried, worried about Vagar. Bo says to him, which is now in this episode I found out whom the dragon is that Oath claimed. It is the dragon's name is Silverwing. Silverwing. Okay. And but he teases, Adam, tell him, oh, what are you scared? He's like, me and Silverwing, we ain't scared, we ain't afraid of nothing. He's like, well, shit, we'll see who's scared. I'm like, fucking with each other. He makes his jokes toward Adam, being scared, but then Rhaenyra said to Oath, she said, a knight will conduct himself with grace at the queen's table. Ah, damn it. That's real talk. Oath replied, best make me a knight then. I'm like, dude. I'm like, boy, he's a smart ass, man. Boy, hey, I'm like, this dude's hilarious. He's like, best make me a knight then. But then Jace, his son husband asked, he gives him a stern look and said, you forgot yourself, friend. Yeah, but then he straightens up a little bit. He was like, man, some sense of humor could do you guys all good. I'm like, yeah, well, and you can laugh and shit like that, but this is a time where shit, where you gotta be really serious, my dude. You know what I mean? So, we could joke later and shit, shoot the shit later. It's time for business now. I'm like, boy, you better listen to that boy as a warning. But yeah. So this time, during this time, Rhaenyra, she gets, her meal gets interrupted because her maester comes in, to her with a message from Sir Simon Strong, who's, who's telling her basically that Daemon, gathered his army, but he fears that Daemon, may be on, maybe doing it for his own purpose, So kind of like a little shocked and a little flustered about it. She had that look on her face. She's like, I would not allow it. I won't allow it. So she made one of the new writers, Adam, to fly out with her to over there to Harrenhal so she can check Daemon, damn it, hell, to see what the hell is going on with her. So yeah. So Daemon uh, next scene, Damon told the witch as he follows her to the tree, to that heart tree, think it was called. Yeah, because he was laying out sleeping this time, And he's like, Damon, do you ever sleep, bitch? So yeah, so she gets up and he follows her. And this time, man, he's not, yeah, he no longer desires to talk shit about Harry Hall or and his mystery shit, you know. So he's more coming to more of acceptance to it now and not trying to like fight against it and none of that shit. So I'm like, okay, all right. He's not like talking with any kind of like, uh shitty talking, none of that shit. He's like taking it seriously. Yeah. But she tells Damon, yeah, because he used to be a closed fist, and yeah, he was. But now he comes to that acceptance. And it's time to, as they was approaching that tree, that big ass old half dead looking tree, um, just for a split second, you'll see like this deer, this image of this deer like man, appear like behind, near the tree. So I'm like, is that tree like a spiritual doorway for creatures from another realm to pass through? Is that why that is so? I wonder. So, and that kind of leads me right to being of a wonder. Okay, like man, I just wish they would. What if they was to expound upon that more? The mystical realm of it, instead of just keeping it like such a hush hush. Well, not really hush hush, but like a undertone. You know, like a mystery. Because I'm like, man, that would explain a lot. Because then maybe that would have led to um, the people that sacrificed that god who then in turn became the Night King. So they revealed some of it, the mystical realm a little bit, when they went into the tale of the Night King. I could say that, but I would still like for them to dive a little bit more into it. You know what I mean? To somewhat turn this into uh, a dark fantasy, spiritual, all at the same time, in the same sense as Berserk. If anybody's seen the anime series Berserk. So yeah, and because with the anime Berserk, that went deep into the whole mystical and astral realm of it all. So I was wanting to do that, just to go into it to show how it's all tied, fate wise, and their own law of causality within it. So, well, yeah. But yeah, just talk to Allison. He makes some mentions of like points out saying, "Oh, what the hell is that?" No, he just looks observant, just hey, just accepted that it was just a creature there. It wasn't a big major shock to him. So I was like, wow, so he came to that acceptance about it. So Alice also tells him too that there are omens there, for those who seek them. Wonder what she meant by that. That there are omens there for those who seek them. She asked him though. She's like, "Do you wish to know what's been given to you?" I'm like, "Huh?" So like, yeah, this time, check marks are going through my mind. Like, okay, what the hell? After she placed his hand on the tree, Damon, that's when the vision kicks in. Where he sees, uh, when he places his hand on the heart tree. That's when he sees that vision. Basically of the future, where he sees, the Night King, the Daenerys, with her baby dragons. Dead armies, dead dragon, and him drowning the three-eyed raven. So I'm like, ooh, that's wow. That was something else, man. Like, shit. See that? So I'm like, yeah, I know that definitely shook, dude. I'm like, yeah, he's done. I'm like, yeah, Alice, you want him over. You have won him over to having the mindset that uh you desire for him to have now in going towards this. So, you know, and going in the way of how uh the uh the mystical realm, desire for Damon to go. So yeah, that had to break him right there, man, because all the stuff he's seeing that vision, because he was shocked as hell when he snapped out of it, you know, especially when he seen Rhaenyra on the throne, and at the same time too, y'all, like, which was crazy to me, because he was seeing Helena telling him he was seeing Helena, who at this time, right, was at the same time she was in King's Landing. He's in Harrenhal. So I'm like, wow. But she tells him, right, while he's having his, I want to say, like, can we say it's a vision? What can we say it? Um, in this vision of the future, she was able to tap into it, like this, I think this astral vision, projection vision, whatever, where she's able to tap into that space while being in the physical realm at the same time. Uh, because she tells him, she says, it's all a story, and you're but one part in it. You know your part. You know what you must do. I'm like, wow. I'm like, yeah, yeah. I can see why she don't want care to ride on dragon and go fight and shit. She seems like that she likes that. That's her position. But the thing is, though, like, she's slick evil too, though, for allowing, what happened to her son. Oh man, that was, yeah, that was effed up. But still, this still blew my mind, man, because I brought up Berserk because the whole dark fantasy of it just, there's some symbolism within this, that resembles that resembles Berserk to some degree, to some small degree. So yeah, and after Damon snatched back from his vision, yep. So yeah, he sees Helena, Helena, she was standing like basically outside of the castle, the King's Landing. But Aemon, he went to talk with her though. She finished her message to Damon, right before Aemon approached though. So, but Aemon, he tries to sweet talk her, into taking up her dragon, to fight with him and shit again. But she refused, you know, kind of sternly though. She told him, she's like, if I refuse, are you gonna burn me like you did Aegon? I'm like, ooh, I'm like, okay, so she has some connection with the heart tree in this mystical realm, thus giving her the power to see, yeah, not just the future, like present and yeah, just present and the future. I wanted to say past too, because I know she had to see all of that of which Damon saw. She had to. And who's to say that whole fire? I think it's the Fire Lord from uh uh from the Game of Thrones series, right? So this is basically part of the series. This is just a prequel, but the original series, where you had that witch in there, right? There was praying to like this Lord of the Flame or whatever. So therefore, in that kind of dark mystical realm, I'm wondering, okay, is that same realm? Is that also connected to Alice and Helena? Like, do they know of that entity? Huh. So I wonder. Uh, yeah. But she tells Damon that, she says, Aemon, she tells him, she asks him like, hey, are you gonna burn me like you did Aegon? So I'm like, damn, so how'd you, so she knew damn hell what the hell he did. Yeah, he tried to lie to her first about it, but it's no point of lying, man. Why you trying to, how can you lie to somebody that knows the truth of what happened, that you trying to keep under wraps, that only a select few know? You should have just messed up that. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? There was no point in lying. But then she replied, she said, I saw you. You burned him and let him fall. She tells him Aegon will be king again. He sits on a wooden throne, and you will be dead. You were swallowed up in the god's eye, and you were never seen again. Well, Aemon was hurt by that, boy. Real talk, man. He just, yeah, to hear that from his own sister, boy. You know, and she, and she told him, she was like, yeah, you were never seen again. Yeah, so, Aemon replied, I could kill you. I could kill you. But he walks away after she tells him this. She said it wouldn't change anything. Yeah, it really wouldn't. So yeah, Rhaenyra, and Adam arrived at Harrenhal, where and I liked it too. Like it was right on key with her theme. With her theme music. Popped in. They did a good job with that though to edit that in there. Uh, and applying that right there at that moment when she popped up in Harrenhal, like basically displayed that song, her intro, her theme as a as a to say, hey, she's coming and she means business. Kind of mood that they was trying to set. So yeah, so she so yeah, so Sir Simon Strong, he welcomes her, at the entrance, telling her, yeah, he had reason, to fear, because she told her she came right as soon as she got his message. Yeah, he said, yeah, he had reason to fear. So yeah, so he told her, to come with her, to come with him, to the hall, So she went, and they got there. Damon walking through the crowd. We see him. He recognized that she popped up. Because her dragon, just came hovering right up over uh the whole court, I guess, and just looking over everybody, just peering down above everybody. So yeah, and Damon comes through, and he tells her, that he wasn't expecting her. Oh shit! Yeah, he tells her, the army he raised has sworn to him, but then she recognized that, she was like, okay, he sworn to you, but that doesn't mean, motherfucker, that you're saying that to say, they sworn to you as a sworn to me. So therefore, she asked him, she was like, and to whom are you sworn to? Everybody was looking like, shit, what's up? Then he tells her, with a serious look on his face, though, tells her, hey, the world is not what we thought it was. This war is just the beginning. Winter is coming. Telling basically, of the future, what I mean, basically the sequel, which is known to be the original series, Game of Thrones. So yeah. He said, winter is coming with darkness and doom. She replied, you sound like my father. Damon says to her, I saw that we cannot withstand it, and yet somehow we must. He tells her the realm's only hope is a leader who can unite it. And his brother chose her. So he said, you are the true Queen Rhaenyra, first of her name, protector of the realm. I am meant to serve you and all those with me until death or the end of our story. Well, this is basically him saying that, he acknowledges his role, in this, basically, following the words of what Helena and Alice has been, trying to tell him. So to stop the madness of trying to take the place of the take the throne, but take your place as what you should be doing. So I'll say this is just just to show a story to show basically like of how the House Targaryens came to be and how they ruled and how they fought and how they fell, how they came to a great fall. So yeah, and then Damon after saying that, Damon all his men bent the knee to Rhaenyra, then she tells Damon, leave me again at your peril. And Damon replied, I could not. I have tried, my queen. And Damon shouts to his men, we fight for our queen. And they all shouted, we fight for Rhaenyra. I'm like, man. This just show of the. This is just a showing of a woman being, strong. The woman can be a strong, better, or not better leader than a man contest, that yeah, that all men must follow the woman kind of shit, and look at the woman as queen and she's on the throne. And that the man will be in the wrong to seek, to be seeking to lead. But anyway, let's get back to it. Yep. So Corliss, next thing, Corliss talks with Alan, his son. He tells him, which he doesn't, acknowledges that that it's his son. So yeah, but he tells him he wished to set out on good terms with him as his first mate. But he tells Alan, that the man find him to be, kind of distant, that he wished to, and that he should wish to lead, by example, that he has to get close to his man in order to do that, But Alan replied saying, I never asked to lead, as you well know. Corliss says, with frustration, I'm trying to help you. And then Alan, this is where it comes out. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, he gets it all off his chest then, damn it. You know what I mean? As he should, but then again, Corliss is right, but then again, hey. But then again, this shows where, well, maybe Corliss wasn't, shows that Corliss wasn't always there for him and Alan, his bastard children. As he should have been, which he admitted himself. So I guess this was his way of not wallowing in the past, but using his power to help, to help them out, by giving them positions and shit, high positions, which we could say, now they definitely ain't got to ever worry about going hungry or none of that shit, like they did when they was younger, because he goes into it after he says that. He said, well, I'm trying to help you. And Alan, he tells Corliss saying, this is your help after all these years? A reminder to be grateful? Corliss, says while turning away, I meant no offense. You may go now. I'm like, man, address this man. Man, look at him. Man, Mo. Look at him. Face the shame of the pain or whatever you caused this boy, this man, this boy that basically grew into a man. Face him. Face him. So yeah. Because says, yeah, I mean, no offense, you may go now. But Alan, nah, he still stays there, boy. He gets it all off his chest. He says, do you know what it's like to grow up fatherless? To be sneered upon as bastards, never sure of the bread to feed us. Like, do you know what hunger does to a boy? What grief does? Or shame? Corliss still refuses to face him. He says, you are dismissed. Like you just facing your wrong, your shame. It's just that painful, huh? You facing the truth of where you was wrong in. Which is what he was trying to get, which is what Alan was trying to get him to acknowledge. And then the fact is that he never looked at them as sons, so therefore that he wasn't going to ever, plead with him to regard him as such. And nor should he plead with him. Amen. He tries to dismiss him, but Alan comes back and says, I sold fish in the market from cold dawn until sunset, putting by coppers to stave off the winter. And I watched the man who sired me walk past with his son and heir with a fur around his shoulders, choosing sweet meats to eat after supper by the fire. And now that boy is dead, and his sister before him, and the heir that took his place. And now, and now you remember I live? Now you remember I live. Now you wish to suddenly scatter the crumbs of your favor. I'm like, man, this is real talk. Because then he continues to say, then he continues and says, I am an honorable man, and I wish, and yeah, I am an honorable man, and I must serve you as I must. But if it is all the same, I will decline any offers of help. If I survive this war, I will continue as I began, alone. Alone. Alan walks away. Motherfucker didn't say shit, man. I'm like, damn, man, Corliss, man, you fucking up, Corliss. But then again, not really. Like I said, he he's doing what he can for him. But then again, I'm like, hey, you could have stayed in their lives and kept them propped up. You know what I mean? For what? Just in case. You know what I mean? Shit. Something like this happened to where he's in somewhat of a need of an heir. Bela refused. So yeah. So yeah, Rhaenyra next thing tells Masaria, that she's in a conundrum for in order to take her throne, innocents may have to perish. Uh, I mean, yeah, which is, hey, the typical what happens in war, like I said before. So yeah, but Visaria, tells her, hey, to be strong and and prevail. And that she must not let the realm fall into the hands of those who care for power more than peace, which is real talk. So therefore, that should still her the most, and that no matter what happens, it will be for that greater good. Her focusing on them and keeping it out of the hands of the high towers, because she remember the Missaria, she can't stand the high towers. So yeah. So at this time too, while they was outside, in their typical spot, observing, the sea, the dragons, flying around, playing with each other, you know. But yeah, but Rhaenyra, she was woken up by one of her knights because Allison came to see her in secret. Now she tells Rhaenyra she lost her way. You know, she lost her way, and that she basically, that she made a mistake. I mean, that she's trying to make things right, but she's trying at the same time make things right with Rhaenyra while trying to spare, if not both, but one of her sons. But more so, she focusing on wanting to spare. She's focusing on wanting to spare Aegon, because hey, he's practically crippled, and can't really do nobody any harm. But yeah, but as they came, talk with each other, she met her, she managed to get to her secret. Yeah, so she tells Rhaenyra, yeah, she lost her way. She regrets putting faith in all the men in her life, including uh including her lover. I'm like, yeah, yeah, whatever. You're mostly enslaved to your feelings. That's what it is. Um, basically, she exposed her, that she had a lover. The Rhaenyra mocks her for saying, she has a lover because she always acted like, the incorruptible queen, making virtue her banner, as Rhaenyra said. But she tells Rhaenyra that she wants to be free from it all, and take Helena and her child with her away from King's Landing. Rhaenyra calls her out though, tell her, hey, it's too late, basically, to try and wash her hands of it all, and run away. You know, Allison tell her Allison tells her that Aemon, will soon fly to join Kristen in the Riverlands, basically giving her some info. And with him gone, she planned on, having Helena, who will be in the place, basically being the next one in line uh to be in that rulership, with Aemon being gone. So she'll be, her her crown will be, the next in command while he's gone. So she says she's gonna plan on use that influence to cause for the guards and shit to open up the gates so she could come right in and take over the kingdom. But Rhaenyra, asked her, hey, well, what about Aegon? What of him? She tells him, hey, she's crippled, you can't do nothing. But she argues with her and tells her, no, hey, you know what must be done. This is custom. I'm gonna have to take his head in display of showing, hey, that I've, you know, that the war is won. That it's over with. And because that totally cancels of there being any uh opposition, right? So, but yeah, but Allison, she was hurt and frustrated at first, what I mean, but she gave in. She was like, hey, well, all right, yeah. So she agreed to allow it to be done, for her and Helena and her child, her daughter to go free, to go run off to be wherever, and not caring to intervene or whatever. Her Rhaenyra taking uh Aegon's head. So, but she's hurt because hey, still that's her son, but hey, it's these are the laws of war. So, um, so expressing compassion, for her. So she she shed tears and cries with her. What I mean, but hey, but she said, this is what's got to be, son for a son. So, and she's right. She's right. So all the way to this point, Rhaenyra played it all well. She didn't rush things, act all rash, and hollering out, hollering, like some wild banshee, that shit. No, she was being more strategic and all that shit. How she should be. So, but with with some help too, of those. That gave her some clarity. Yeah, so yeah, she let Allison, go. She let Allison go free. But Allison, she wanted Rhaenyra to go with her. Aegon, it shows where he managed to escape with Lord Larys. And they're planning to go to I think Bravos, that's what it was. And it's showing to all the dragon riders getting suited up. Baela continues running after a dragon, which he finds and comes face to face with. So I'm like, okay, girl, now you found your dragon. Now what? Everyone started their march, getting ready for war. Land and sea. On land and sea, everybody getting ready. And shockingly enough, to y'all last week, oh my God, Sir Otto Hightower is in prison somehow. So I'm like, wow. So next season they're gonna show all what's going down with that. Yeah, it's done, man. It's going down. So thank you guys, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yes. She got Ray Hama 1 versus a million. Yes, we're the 3 hour mark. So um I really don't want to test it like that. So what I shall do is I don't know, because I don't know if it will play or not when I try to screen share this. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Because I already have it saved. I'm gonna try to find the try to find a video I gotta save from these guys. All right, because don't add more numbers onto them. So what I mean, just get you guys, just get us together on it. Just so we can share our thoughts about a lot of the stuff that they cover, their anatomy covers and stuff. That they do over multiple different characters. These guys even talk about creatures from horror films back in the 90s. So, yeah, very intriguing. And, it could bring some nostalgia to you, too, especially to those who are a little bit older than me that are, they have way more of a stronger return of memory of these older films and stuff like that, man. So there's something else. So yeah, it's in my playlist, so I can go to it quick without searching everywhere. All right. Yeah. Hopefully it still be heard. Well, if not, man, if this thing's giving me trouble, hell to play it. I will at least, pin the links into the chat so you guys will have it. Finally feel good I got this done. So yeah, I think it was this one. Yep. Well, hmm. Okay, so that's what it's. Cause that's what she is. Okay, or what they're calling her, a dragon dreamer. Huh. Yeah. Okay, this is 18 so minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys this here. It's already 3 hours. I'm not trying to alpha my way through this one here. Yeah. So, uh, here you go. I'll put this in the chat for you guys. Thank you guys again for coming through. Appreciate you. All right, now there you go. That's the link to what I was about to show. Maybe I can possibly do. Who knows? Maybe I could possibly do 5 minutes, or maybe less. But uh, let's see. Okay, share. Let me see. Let me mute myself. So see. Okay. Now, as you can see, this one's, this show is called, these guys are called Marvelous Videos, and they also have a channel called Marvelous Anime, where they go into, deep detail about the characters, their powers and stuff like that. So, yeah, they're all around good researchers. So, yeah, this one's called Marvelous Videos, as you can see. Um, their sub count and the views this gotten. So pretty decent views, decent amount of views. I may just, like I said, just play a few minutes of it and just see how it goes. And I'm gonna say, fair use on this one too as well. Remove this banner. Well, I'm gonna be in slow motion now. Okay. All right. Yep. Move this banner. Mouse is acting funny. Okay. All right, please don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe too on your way out. Thank you. Thank you for checking me out. Appreciate it. Yes, because your boy went back, man, and watched this whole series, man, for the second time. So yeah, I'm deep into it now. And glad I completed that and got that finished. So I want to share this real quick with you guys. So let's go. Fair use, fair use. Let me put this up here too, see if it works. Yeah, fair use. All right, I'm gonna mute myself and just play a few minutes. Intro, outro, and then we're gone.
Believed Helena to be a naive character who's severely misunderstood by her family and is overburdened by the knowledge of the future. She's faced the unwanted brunt of the aggression between the Greens and the Blacks for far too long. But the finale portrays a new fierce and confident side of our whimsical queen. Even though House of the Dragon centers on the battles between dragon riders and the struggle for the Iron Throne, it has still heavily leaned into magic and prophecies, a lot more than Game of Thrones ever did. The first season pretty much began with the introduction of Aegon the Conqueror's prophecy of the prince that was promised. Throughout season 2, Rhaenyra, Jacaerys, and Daemon grapple with this ancient prophecy that fuels their actions. They strategize battles, rally the dragon seeds, and push to put Rhaenyra on the throne, all in an effort to fulfill Aegon's prophecy. While everyone is caught up in Aegon's prophecy, they're overlooking the seer right in front of them, because instead of obsessing over an ancient dream, they should actually be paying attention to Helaena Targaryen. Sure, Helaena has had a difficult season, but everything she has uttered has been seen to come true, one way or the other. In Fire and Blood, Helena's character is barely present after the Blood and Cheese arc, which allowed the showrunners of House of the Dragon to sort of reinvigorate her character, to add on the overall premise of the prequel show. While there has always been a unique aspect to being a Targaryen, a hardcore dragon dreamer is definitely not easy to come by. With Helena's character, we have somewhat been given a glimpse into the more mystical side of the Targaryen anatomy, sans the dragons and the Iron Throne. So without wasting another moment, let's get right into it. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request.
Well, yep, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Yep, we are past, shoot, my desired mark. I tried to get it all crushed down. So, yeah. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. Peace and blessings. And it's the Hama Force. 1 versus a million. I'm out. Peace. Hanma Hanma. This season was awesome. Awesome and highly intriguing.
Say that I belong, take back the things that I should have felt.